Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? All right, man, we're gonna talk about it. Hit this bag like always to show up. Wait till a few y'all jump in here, man. Hit the bag so you guys show up, man. Talk about this heavyweight stuff. Get in here. I see there's 6 people. Wait till a few y'all get in, man. During my last live stream, some people were asking me some questions about a few topics. This Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury thing is getting a lot of conversation going. I see a few of you jumped in here. Let me see here. Sting Crew was good. Lawrence Williams, what's up? Trap House was good, homie. Wait till a few more people jump in here. I'm gonna hit this bag for a little bit. Answer a few questions, man. I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna be breaking down some fights on my bag. People have been asking me. October 4th, a subscriber, he asked me. He pretty much asked me to break down the Fury versus Klitschko, and what did I see in the Fury Klitschko fight versus what I saw in the Fury versus Pianeta fight. All right. First thing I'm gonna get to, there was a commenter on the last live stream. He pretty much was asking. His name is Callie Harley, CALLYHARLEY. In that video, I was talking about some of the fighters that are not happy about this Wilder versus Fury fight going down. And I guess Tony and the commenter was asking me, you know, or pretty much telling me that Tony Bellew's question was a fair question. And Tony Bellew was saying, how does Tyson Fury get a shot after 3 years out? And that's why I'm looking down, because I tried to write down what he was saying. He says, how does Fury get a shot after 3 years out in 2 comedy fights? That's a fair question. That's what Callie Harley said. All right, here's my answer, and I left a comment to him. Look, man, Tyson Fury is not your average Joe. He is not some up-and-coming contender that we're just placing there or just putting there to get some type of title shot, all right? When you have the cachet, the clout, the name, you didn't lose your titles in the ring, you're still undefeated, you get these types of perks, all right? The same, I mean, Tony Bellew was acting like this is just unheard of. For him to say this comes across like he's, you know, acting like this is unheard of, right? Vitaly Klitschko took 4 years off. Now I know what you're going to say, but he was champion emeritus. Fair enough, but he took 4 years off. 2004, he retired, did his went into politics and things like that. Came back in 2008. He fought Samuel Peter, his very first fight back. You can say, yeah, but nothing. He came back after 4 years off and fought Samuel Peter, his first fight. Then I believe he fought Juan Carlos Gomez, who had his better days at cruiserweight. So that was 08. And then I believe 09, he fought Juan Carlos Gomez, who had 1 loss at the time. I think he had a draw to McCall, and then he beat McCall. I forget how that went. But Gomez he had his best days at cruiserweight. He was a WBC champion. I think he made like 10 or 11 defenses. Vitaly beat him. Then Vitaly went on to beat 2 undefeated up-and-comers at the time. He beat an undefeated Chris Arreola, and he beat an undefeated Kevin Kingpin Johnson. All right. Mike Tyson. All right. He went to prison. Was going away from the sport 3.5, 4 years, somewhere in there. He came back. He fought twice, right? He fought Peter McNeely. I believe he fought McNeely and Mathis Jr. both in 95. 2 fights, and then in 96, I know he fought Holyfield at the tail end, but then the fights before Holyfield in 96, he fought for the WBC title against Bruno and the WBA title against Bruce Seldon. Why? Because they're top. When they return, they're still top heavyweights. It's not a point where you return and, oh man, for you to get a shot, you got to be the top contender. They already laid their groundwork. It's not like a fucking George Foreman situation where you're literally going for 10 years and you try to come back and step in and try to get a title shot. You know what I mean? It's not that type of situation. He has the name, he has the clout, he's undefeated, he didn't lose his titles in the ring. He's had his 2 tune-up fights. That's why he's in that position, Tony Bellew. You know what I mean? Fighters of that. Now, I'm not saying that Tyson Fury, his career, I'm not saying that he's as great as Vitaly Klitschko or Mike Tyson. But guess what he is, though? Like those guys were in their era. He's one of the top heavyweights. Not top 10. He is top 3, top 5-ish heavyweight. You know what I mean? So that's why after, as you put it, Collie Harley, 2 comedy fights. Because people thought Mike Tyson fighting McNeely and Mathis Jr., although Mathis Jr. was undefeated. McNeely, I believe, had 1 loss, but he fought a lot of journeymen. A lot of people called those comedy fights. You know what I mean? So say what you want, man. Say what you want about it. And Tony Bellew is talking as if like he's some top heavyweight or some shit, man. You know what I mean? Dude, you beat David Haye twice. Kudos, congratulations. But you act like you got like you went through the gauntlet at heavyweight or some shit, man. You won your world title at cruiser. Look, man, I like Tony Bellew, but he's speaking on Tyson Fury like Tyson Fury's a chump. You know what I mean? What Roy Jones said, y'all must have forgot. Y'all must have forgot, man. You know what I'm saying? All right, now I'm gonna wait for a few more people to show up here. Then I'm gonna go ahead and break down what I saw and the Tyson Fury I saw. All right, I went off for a second, but I'm gonna go ahead and break down the Tyson Fury I saw in the Klitschko fight. Then I'm gonna go ahead and break down the Tyson Fury I saw in the Pianeta fight. All right, but before I do that, let me say what's up to all y'all, because I surely appreciate you guys showing up, man. Trap House was good. Lawrence Williams, Sting Crow, Gaines PP said what's up, champ, chill, man. Sting Crow says, are you southpaw? No, I'm not, man. When I'm doing these videos, for whatever reason, when I go live, it's inverted. You know what I mean? So I don't know how to fix it. I'll try to figure that out. But yeah, so no, I am a righty, but I do a lot of rounds and I break down southpaw styles. But no, I'm not a southpaw. It's just the way that my camera is filming this. For whatever reason, is doing that. Trap House asked the same question. Gaines PP says, can you add Wilder Stavern 1 compare with Wilder Ortiz? Maybe no. I'm gonna just break this one down and I gotta hop off. I got shit to do. And this may end up being damn near an hour. Maybe I might do it today. I'm not sure. Gaines PP says, what about Joe Louis when he came back? Yeah, man, there's a lot of fighters that have done this type of shit. Larry Holmes. But, whenever I bring up these examples, Game PP, people always say, yeah, but it's like, well, you want an example. My thing is, it's like boxing fans. Sometimes I believe we don't know what the hell we want. You want examples of when has this ever happened? And then as soon as somebody gives you an example, yeah, but it's like, yeah, but nothing. Here's an example of guys coming back from long layoffs. And we don't know what half these dudes were doing. Tyson Fury just made his shit public as to what he was doing during his layoff. Fury could have just said, you know what, man, I just been chilling, going out, eating up everything, not really working out, taking it serious, and just leave it at that. You know what I mean? But his shit was made public with the fight cancellations and things like that. But who really knows what these fucking dudes are doing during their times off? You know what I mean? They're not living a fighter's lifestyle. They're not watching their diet, so on and so forth, man. But people want examples of history, and then as soon as you give it to them, they ain't trying to hear it. It's yeah, but as if you got to find the exact comparison for this. Dude, I'm looking at time off from top fighters, and then that lets you know that this has happened before. Speaking of Joe Louis, man, I'll watch some Joe Louis fights, man. This off subject. I'm gonna get to everybody. But Joe Louis, man, used to create power from right here. You know how some dudes will wind up, even Wilder or even Mike Tyson, they get real explosive with shit. Joe Louis' power was coming literally from right here, man. That motherfucker he was literally just turning his hand over and creating crazy power, man. Energy throwing shots, and he had crazy power. I know somebody gonna say, yeah, but he was big as a cruiserweight, but that motherfucker generated a lot of power from a short distance, man. Joe Louis was amazing. Jason Eagle says, I agree. All Eddie Hearn's fighters seem to be coordinating attacks on Wilder and Fury to save Joshua's face. Sting Crow says, Tony Bill, you ain't shit. Gaines PP says, what's up, it's Sting Crow. Grimace always says, bro, we need to face the facts. Billy's the plummet heavyweight. Lowland Prophet says, yeah, class in session. That's what's up. J Rose says, what up, Mr. Box? Can't wait for this. You made me come around to the idea of Fury being ready and what that really means. Let me see here. All right, man. So Corleone Mello says, got to eat right and stay in the gym. Grimace always says, Bellew keeps winning, but if he beats Usyk, I'm done with boxing and going to hopscotch. Trap House Boxer says, Joe did, especially when he throws those short hooks. Yeah. Tyrone Smith says, why is Konowski so fat? AZ says, what's good, Mr. Boxing? All right, man. I was waiting for October 4th to jump in here because he's the one that asked this question. So maybe he'll check it out on archive when he peeps out the title. But I'm going to just go ahead and start, man. One more. Scotty John says, I have a feeling this Fury Wilder fight is a publicity stunt. It will not happen. James Coleman was good, bro. Miles Corbett, what's up, man? He says a 6'9", 85-inch reach. Say no more. Yes, that is a big dude, right? Shit, he's a big dude, man. People ask me all the time how tall, how much do I weigh? I'm 6'5", 240, and I've took my reach before and I have an 81-inch reach. All right, just for anybody's gonna ask me that. Rich77 says, what if Fury is playing again? There's a lot of y'all fall up in here. I'm gonna read this last one, I'm gonna get to it. All right, Rich77 says, what if Fury is playing a game, looking average and beatable in his fights just to convince Wilder to fight him? All right. All right, y'all. So this is what I saw when I watched Fury, and I watched it a lot of times. Yes, I took the time out to watch Fury versus Klitschko. People said it was a fucking gore fest. This is what I saw in comparison to the Tyson Fury I saw against Pianeta, all right? Now, this demonstration isn't to win nobody over. It's not to convince you otherwise. I'm just showing you what I saw, all right? So leave comments as we go, all right? This is what I saw. I saw a Klitschko that was fighting like this. Klitschko, he likes to keep the right hand by the chin. Sometimes he will drop his hands like this to try to look for openings. Take away with the jab, try to land good right hand. Now, I was just talking about Joe Louis generating a lot of power from here. Klitschko sometimes could generate a lot of power with his hands out too. Him and his brother were fantastic at that, man. Just pretty much just turning over the hand. Generating a lot of fucking power from here. But anyways, Klitschko was fighting Fury like this. And then when Fury was going back on the back foot, you can see Klitschko was cocking his right hand like, I'm gonna hit you, I'm gonna hit you, I'm gonna hit you, but I can't find a perfect target. Then he'll follow him around. Then he kept following around. And I'm gonna hit you, I'm gonna hit you, I'm gonna hit you. And then I'll paw with the jab, He couldn't get anything going. He was so hesitant to let that motherfucker go where he was looking for the perfect opportunity to land a right hand. Klitschko wasn't trying to be creative. He wasn't at least try to go for the body. Now, I know some people may say Klitschko's not really a body puncher. He's more of a Ali, Holmes type guys who just try to pinpoint punches upstairs. Klitschko could at least try to fucking jab to the body to throw him off a little bit. And then the funny thing is, like the 9th round, I remember he landed a right hand. Then late in the fight, when Klitschko actually did let a right hand go, guess what Fury did? He got hit with the right hand. A few times I've seen him get hit with the right hand, kind of wipe it off, get caught with a shot. They just wipe it off like it don't hurt to, get back focused and get back on alert. He just stood there, feet planted. He wasn't moving around. Got hit with a good right hand. He'll stand there like this. Klitschko didn't even capitalize. It was like Klitschko was like, ooh, I landed one. And then just moved back. And I'm like, what the fuck is Vladimir doing? Another time, Klitschko landed a good right hand on Fury. Fury got hit with the right hand. He just came in and clinched Vladimir. Vladimir loves the clinches, right? So Vladimir just was like, oh, yeah, I'll clinch with you. Vladimir just didn't capitalize. When he did land something, he didn't even capitalize. You know what I mean? So that's not Fury's fault. It's just Vladimir not doing nothing when he did land. And he was rarely landing. So Vladimir was doing a lot of chasing him or following him, pawing with the jab. You could tell he wanted to throw it, but Fury wasn't giving him a target to land. He kept moving, going like this, going side to side, going in and out. And then Fury, the feints was fucking Vladimir up too. Fury was doing a lot of feints in that fight, man. He was, and it wasn't just feints like just one feint. Fury was feint, jab to the body, slide, moving out, feint, then he won't throw anything. Feint, won't throw anything, and then he'll move. He kept doing this shit. Then occasionally, when Vladimir did go on the back foot, when Vladimir was just backing up like this, keeping that jab hand out there and that right hand right here, or when he went to this look, Fury would come forward. Yeah, Fury would come forward like this, and then he'll just wing over some shit like that, then he'll get in a clinch. Vladimir's so used to, when he's clinching guys, Vladimir is known. See, it's one thing when Vladimir can't find anything, gets hit with a jab and then clinch, versus the Vladimir that we're used to seeing, when he can get up on you, or he'll throw the left hook off the jab, and then he'll clinch you, and then he'll ragdoll you in the clinch, where he has control of the clinch to get you where he wants you, and then put that jab right hand back on you. He couldn't do that with Fury. He found out that Fury made him go into a stalemate in the clinch. Either they didn't go anywhere with their feet, or Fury was getting the best of the clinch. There was times where Vladimir was clinching him at very awkward angles, like he'll have him in a clinch with like this and holding him. This opening right here, Fury was just not hurting him, not landing, but just putting a physical beating on him. And then the refs would break him, and then Fury was back to this shit, moving around. His awareness and him being alert in a fight like that was at an all-time high versus the fight with Pianeta, right? So Tyson Fury was on alert, man. He did just a lot. And then another thing is he was a little bit, as far as weight goes, he was about 10 pounds less. Wasn't he about 247 in that fight? Something like that. He was 258 in the Pianeta fight. So in the Pianeta fight, what I saw, so in the Vladimir fight, he was on alert. You could damn near see his eyes were bugged out because he was on alert, waiting for big shots from Klitschko, moving. Klitschko wasn't trying to hit him in the body. He just had to just move his upper body. Fury loves that type of shit. He can box like that for 100 rounds straight. If he's just moving, feint, moving, jab, bam, moving. He can fight like this all day. This is a fucking workout to him. He was bouncing on his feet. This is a workout to him. Just be alert of your big shot, and that's it. No body attack, no utilizing the jab. Vladimir was jabbing, but he wasn't doubling and tripling and coming over here and shooting it up like that. He didn't mix up his jab. Vladimir was just trying to paw. And you can see both guys' gloves touching because they're just pawing, and then trying to sneak in a shot, paw, fake the shot, come upstairs with it, paw. He was doing that type of shit. Fighting at that rhythm, that's Fury all night long. All night long, man. Now Pianeta didn't make Fury aware like that because he has nothing really to worry about. You know what I mean? Pianeta fighting like this, trying to come forward to land singles out of this, not like this, where Fury has to be like, okay, I'm alert. Klitschko's known to knock motherfuckers' heads off. Let me stay alert. No, Pianeta just this, where Fury can just box around him, touch him, get out the way. Touch him, get out the way. Reset, put that jab back on him. Getting close, get that jab on, put in the body with it. Getting Pianeta against the ropes, bang, he was putting his weight on him, laying little sneaky shots like this, sneaky shots like that, bang. He's seen Pianeta bracing. It's hard to knock people out like that. I've talked to many pro fighters that have told me that it's hard to knock a guy out when he's bracing himself. Now, can you catch a guy around his guard? Of course you can. Can you split the guard? Of course you can. Can you sneak the uppercut under the guard? Of course you can. But just think if Fury was in there overexerting himself and still not getting a knockout, then people would have been like, oh shit, he went for the KO and couldn't do shit. Because he was like this, bracing himself with a clear mind. Klitschko just wore him out, bang. Fury just wore him out, bang. I got my work off, push, come back to the center of the ring. There was even a point where Pianeta was like, come on, more. Fury's like, nah, I'm smarter than that. Get your ass right back here so I can box circles, squares, and triangles around you. And that's what he was doing, dominated the fight. To me, those are the differences. And he just moved, Move, kept a jab on him, 1-2s. There was even a point where he had him against the ropes. He had Pianeta against the ropes, and Fury threw like a combo, didn't even land. He was just kind of, and this right here, people looking at, because I don't even think Fury even touched him, but it was like one of these, and then he placed something. Sometimes everything don't have to be a hard shot where you're, everybody doesn't, this isn't like a video game where you just come out. It doesn't happen like that all the time. Sometimes, and Fury does this shit, this is what I thought Vladimir should have done against him. Instead of Vladimir looking for just a big right hand or the jab and then a big right hand or jab and a big left hook, it's just place shots. You know, you're not putting much on the right hand, but you're gonna put a lot on that left hook as you turn into it. You can sneak hard shots in there inside of a combination. You know what I mean? So you may want to land a big right hand. Instead of being predictable, jab, here comes the big right hand. Just do this. Make this quick. And then there goes the big right hand. Then there it goes, you know, mix it up, double it. That type of shit. You know what I mean? But those are the differences that I saw, man. Grab a quick drink, see what y'all talking about. Huey is fighting Pulev. Oh, when? They had a purse bid. Is a purse bid settled? I thought the purse bid was pushed to August 16th. Haven't seen nothing on it though. Let me see what y'all talking about. So what do y'all think, man, from the demonstration that I just showed you guys? Not as far as me on the bag, but just what I saw versus what you guys saw. Man, working out, I love doing it, but doing it in this fashion where I'm literally working out and trying to talk to you guys is not as easy, man, as some of you may think. But I think I do pretty decent, though. Let me see here. I appreciate, man, y'all do not understand how much I appreciate y'all showing up, man. Really appreciate it. Let me see here. I'm trying to see where I left off last. Gaines PP says Joe Joyce versus Manuel Char. Let's see what Manuel Char looks like against Frederick Kendall. I expect him to win the fight. I like that type of fight. I think there's a chance that it can be a exciting. Char tries to press forward with the high guard attack and come forward. We know Joyce wants to come forward, especially when he's the bigger guy in there. I watched him through the amateurs, and he showed me that type of. I think it'll be an interesting fight. AZ said, I'm afraid it will be a stinker. Miles Corbett says the best heavyweight fight in 35 years. Illis 92 was good, man. He says salute. AZ says, Mr. Boxing Day 2, you watch Klitschko Fury again? It must have been painful. You know what, man? I've actually watched that fight over 10 times. Over 10 times. Because I was trying to, for the life of me, figure out why was it that Vladimir was so hesitant. And I broke that shit down like I'm fucking investigating a court case, like I was a lawyer, man. Because I was like, was it the footwork that's just making him thrown off? Is it just the is it because he couldn't get control in the clinches? Is it because the feints were throwing him off? I'm literally trying to, and to me it was some of everything. It was like a gumbo. It was like gumbo. It was a mixture of fucking everything that was throwing Klitschko off that night. A little bit of himself just not being not wanting to throw his hands. It was a lot of shit, man. At least from my point of view. Rose Smith says, add-on, question mark, Nathan Gorman. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Mike Lowry says, is the screen inverted? Yes, it is, man. It is. Steen Crow says, Fury didn't let Klitschko land that right hand. Yeah, he didn't. He did not let him land it at all. And Klitschko didn't even try to, and that's what I was saying, like, I was sitting there like, Vladimir, aim towards the chest area, because there was a lot of times, man, where Fury was fighting in rhythms. It was showing me the southpaw, but Fury was fighting in rhythms to where he would lean like this a lot, or he'll lean like this a lot. But there was a few times, or like 6, 7 times in a row, he was leaning this way, then leaning that way. And I'm like, Vladimir, aim for neck and right here in this area. So when he leans, you can possibly catch him on his jaw, catch him off the forehead, or catch him clean right in the mid, right in the face. But Vladimir was just like, and then he'll just reset, and then reset, and then Fury will start flinching, and he'll start going backwards off the flinch. And I'm like, while he's flinching, Fury wants to throw the jab, and he'll come over with a right hand. Why not duck down, get in there, and land your shot? You know what I mean? Or put something on that, and then come up with the uppercut like that. Vladimir was just fucking hesitant, yo. He was just fucking hesitant. And then, like I said, set a trap to make Fury go whatever he needs to. Because Fury off the jab, Fury would evade the jab like this. I was like, Vladimir, throw the jab. You go cinch your palm with it, palm. Then when he leans over there, catch him with that. Turn and catch him. Turn and catch him. Then when you turn, if you don't catch him with this, then there goes the right hand if he goes out that side. And then over here, then if he goes over there, you can throw the right hand, but you're not really throwing it to land. I mean, don't just throw it like a pussy, but throw it and bam, catch him over there. I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess it's probably easier for me saying it, but just watching it, I just was breaking the shit down. Like, well, why don't he do that? Why didn't he do that? And and I'm sure it's probably easier said than done, but from the looks of it, he didn't try anything. It's one thing if he was trying, it's like, oh, okay, that didn't work. Okay, tried it right there, didn't work. It was like Vladimir was doing nothing. Props to Fury, though, for putting him in that position to not do nothing. Let me see here. Steen Crow says, okay. Haplotype was good, my brother. He says, Klitschko couldn't let his hands go against Fury. Tried to one punch all fight while hesitating. Yeah, you're right. Steen Crow says Fury kept Klitschko busy from setting up that, sure you're saying the right hand. Rich77 says Mr. Boxing today too should be on TV with his expert analysis. I appreciate that, man. Ivan Lewis says in the 12th, Vladimir lands some nice left hooks. Yeah, Ivan. And then as soon as he landed, it's like he admired his work. And then he was like initiating clinches. And I'm like, dude, why are you admiring your work? Continue. Land some more. With that left hook, come with the right hand behind it. Then when he was landing right hands, wiped his nose with the left hook. He wasn't punching in combination at all. It was just one shot. And he's so used to having success with his one shot. And when he lands his one shot, and then he'll get you in that clinch and start ragdolling you and bulldogging you around, making you even more tired, and then putting that jab right back in your face when the ref breaks you. In this case, like I said, you probably joined late, but there was a good left hook or good right hand on Fury. When Fury got hit with something clean, majority of the time he would just stay stationary and like wipe his face. You know how guys kind of get hit with something and just kind of wipe their face to let you know that they're still there and still alert. Sometimes get back focused. He stays stationary. Or he'll get hit with something good, and then he was initiating clinches. I'm like, dude, he's trying to initiate the clinch, come with the uppercut. It was like Vladimir, and he's a very smart dude. It was like nothing was clicking for him that night. Again, due to Tyson Fury putting him in those situations. I'm not taking nothing away from Fury. I don't give a damn how boring people thought the fight was. Props to Fury. Pete says, is he really 6'9"? Did you see the face-off? Vladimir seemed to be looking down on him ever so slightly. Man, I've heard so much about that, Pete. I've heard people say that Vladimir put something in his shoes to make himself taller. I heard some people say, well, maybe he had on boots and maybe he had on shoes. Look, if he's not 6'9", he's at least 6'8", because he stands next to Wilder, and he seems like maybe an inch taller. I've seen him stand next to Price. Now, I've seen him stand next to Price in a few different pictures, and Price looked to be like an inch taller. Then I've seen some pictures where they look the same height. So 6'8", 6'8.5", the dude's tall as fuck. All right, see, Rose Smith just said Fury was in boots. Like, I've heard so much, man. So, yeah, it is what it is. And if he's not exactly 6'9", shit, he damn, the way his arms and long legs, shit, he looks fucking 6'9". Miles Corbett says 12 rounds of frustration on a face that looked like hamburger at the end of the fight. Rich77 says that's what I thought, Pete. Rose Smith says Wilder has an inch. Oh, okay, Wilder probably has an inch in heels. Sting Crow says Fury is huge like Shaq. I don't know, man. I don't know about that, bro. I seen now Fury and Wilder might be the same height or something, and I know Fury's a little bit. He has more girth on him, but I seen Deontay Wilder stand next to. Now I know Deontay Wilder is 215 pounds. I know that. I'm talking about height wise. I seen a picture on the internet of I believe it was like at some ESPN type of gathering, but Shaq was standing next to Deontay Wilder. He made fucking Wilder look like a shooting guard, man. Like Wilder looked very little standing next to Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq's a big motherfucker, man. Gaines PP says Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder look almost the same height. Yeah, that's what I thought. Fury reflexes aren't there yet. Can he get it back in 3 months? I've never bet against Tyson Fury. I won't start now. Jared was clearly wearing heels. All right, I don't know what he was clearly wearing, but okay. But you said he clearly wearing heels. Klitschko did the same thing, but in the ring, Fury towered over him. I think that'd be kind of corny for somebody to see. When you say wear heels, I don't know. You gotta. I don't know what you mean. Like he was wearing boots, or he was like stuffing his shoe to make himself taller. I think that'd be corny because when you get in there, as long as you can hurt a motherfucker's chin, all that who's taller, who's not taller, shit don't mean anything. Now, have there been guys in the past? Who was that? Was it Stanley Ketchel? Haplotype, I know Haplotype will know this. Maybe some of you others, but Haplotype. Was it Stanley Ketchel that, or was it Marvin Hart? I forgot who it was that literally wore big ass boots with heels on them to seem as if they were not that much shorter than Jack Johnson. Who was it? I totally forgot who it was. But has it happened before? Yes. You know what I mean? I've heard about guys getting on a scale and fucking putting coins in their pockets, to make themselves. That's what I heard. The rumor, allegedly Roy Jones did for his weigh-in for John Ruiz. You know what I mean? It's not written in stone. I'm not saying that's true. I just heard that rumor, surface on the internet. All right. Let me see here. Haplotype says Fury fights loose like Vitaly, who would have beaten Vlad too, but Vitaly had discipline, so he was better. Yeah, I thought Vitaly was a lot better, and I thought Vitaly was really good at. Vitaly would go to your body. He threw fucking awkward ass punches that worked. Like his body shot, they would never in a gym teach you to throw a body shot like this. And Vitaly would just throw little sneaky ass shots like. Vitaly had, man, that motherfucker was good, man. And he'll go on his back foot and like fight. See, people think fighting off the back foot is this. Like Ali, where they're literally foes moving, like fighting, actually fighting, throwing punches, not just moving one shot at a time, gathering himself, fainting, moving. Yeah, that's fighting, actually, literally fighting. And Vitaly could do that, where he can move and actually throw combinations and flurries off the back foot, and then Vitaly would place little shots. I know you wouldn't teach nobody to leave all this open, but he would land that shit and he'll go back. He'll do little shit like that, man. Vitaly was a beast. Speaking of Ali, I went back and watched the Ernie Terrell fight. This off subject, but man, Terrell was 6'6". Man, he just ran out of ideas, yo, because he came out fighting Ali like this. Now, especially a prime Ali, he gonna eat this shit up. He was trying to land occasional shots, then get close and grab. I knew he ran out of ideas when later on in the fight, he started to fight like this. High guard, but his ass was moving back because he ran out of ideas coming forward. I don't even have enough room in here to move like the way that Ali was moving. He was just throwing flurries, going left and right, feinting him, putting that jab on him, hitting him, touching him, moving, getting out of the way of his shots. I mean, Ali was fucking just dancing on him, man. He was ballroom dancing on Ernie Terrell. Man, Ali was, man. Ali's a thing of beauty, man, in that ring. Let me see. Roy Smith says, Wilder could throw or tease about though Fury might not clinch him well enough. Steen Crow. That's one thing about both of them cats, man. Wilder and Fury, in my opinion, are a lot stronger than people think. I think with Fury, people look at his body physique and think, oh, he's not that strong. I never really seen nobody outmuscle Vladimir. Joshua did a good job of holding his own in the clinch with Vladimir. And I think Vlad was running into that problem where, man, this newer crop of guys, man, these motherfuckers are making it hard for me to clinch them. You know what I mean? I really got to put some hurt on these dudes, man, because these dudes are able to outmuscle me or they're putting me at a stalemate. You know what I mean? And I think that mentally is throwing Vlad off a little bit, in my opinion. Wilder showed me in the Jennings fight, and Washington, no matter what you think of his skill set or his abilities, that is a strong motherfucker, man. And Wilder was just throwing him off whenever they got close. He threw Ortiz off of him as well. You know what I mean? Now when Wilder was getting caught against the ropes and all that type of shit, he was having trouble because separated from his senses completely. But he was doing a good job of holding his own in there with guys that outweigh him by a significant amount of pounds. You know what I mean? Ivan Lewis says, so sad that a rematch between Vladimir and Fury didn't happen. I do agree about that. I do agree. Jay Real says, I know that Wilder has a chin, and I know that Fury doesn't have overwhelming power. So it's going to be interesting to see how Wilder and Fury approach each other. You know, I'm going to get up and demonstrate that. Let me get through some of these. Hop says, I like the demonstration aspects of these videos. Good idea, Mr. Boxing Day 2. Appreciate that, Hop. I'm just going back to my original format. I know some of you guys are new to my channel. Maybe you joined this channel maybe a year ago or maybe last month. But for those of you that don't know, I've said this before, but just for anybody that hasn't heard me say this, my original channel, just plain Mr. Boxing with no 2 at the end, just Mr. Boxing Today, my Mr. Boxing Today channel. I started off my channel doing these types of videos in 2010. Then later on, I went to the version of, you know, where a lot of us guys who do these types of videos, we put up the thumbnail, and then we, you know, put up the picture, and then our voice is over the picture talking about a topic that's on Boxing Scene. That style of video as well, because a lot of you guys ask me my opinions on it, so that's why I do a lot of those. But I like this though, man. This is just how I started off. I just like doing it like this, you know what I mean? But this room actually, one of my younger brothers stayed with me for a while. So whenever somebody needs some help or they need to get on their feet for a little bit, we use this room. This was my original workout room. So they'll stay with us, so I can't really utilize the room like I want to. And then the other room that was my daughter's old room, the fucking walls are pink, and I do not want to hear you motherfuckers talk about me working out in a room that has pink walls. So that's my workout. So I moved this bag and put it back in my real workout room. I'm sure in another month or two, somebody will probably asking, hey man, can I stay with y'all for a little bit? So on and so forth. So yeah. I'm gonna say, nah, man, I got a fucking people on YouTube need to see me do bag breakdowns. Let me see, I'm just kidding, man. Family first. But let me see, Miles Corbett says, in Vlad's mind, Vlad was a beaten man before the fight. You believe that? Games PP says, if Wilder throws around Fury like he did Ortiz, he's going to have a better chance to win. Yeah, if he starts to manhandle him, then yeah. Haplotype says, Vladimir was one punching all night. Pianeta fought like Arthur Abraham and Clotty. Oh, with the high guard. Yeah, Winky, right? But Winky was very effective with his. So was Clotty. So was Abraham. But yeah, that, you know, that put the high guard up, tighten up the guard when they see you hitting them, and then come out of that with their punches. Guys that fight in that style is just like, can make for an easy fight if you know how to use your jab, circle, and you have your chin is tough enough to take their shots when they land on you. But if you can keep that type of fight rib up all night, and you can place shots to the ribs, through the guard, around the guard, and you can circle and dictate and use your jab and pop, 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 pepper, move. You can beat that style. Rose Smith says, I have no idea who's most likely to benefit from a wrestler or Fury. Both like space, but both can be strong up close. Games PP says, unpopular opinion, but Fury dominates AJ, and I'll box him for UD. Shut up. Ivan Lewis says, I can't wait to see how Pulev will take care of business with Huey. I'm going to break that fight down too. Rich77 says, this is great, man. I appreciate that. God of War says, one day we will see Mr. Boxing in the corner as a trainer. Hey, you know what, man? Shouts out to Jermaine Franklin. I believe he's about 16, 17 and 0. This is no lie. And I'm just bringing it up because you brought that up. I did a prospect watch video on him when he was like 3 or 4 and 0. And you guys can look on that video. He actually was saying, hey man, if I send you some tape, can you break down what you see and things that I can work on? And I was shocked. You guys gotta remember, man, I'm just a fan, yo. I'm just a fan. I don't try to portray anything else. I'm just a fan. I have a trained eye because, I mean, if you've been fucking watching something for 30 years, man, you better know what the fuck you're looking at after 30 years, yo. You know what I mean? Something's wrong if you don't know what the fuck you're looking at after 30 years. Plus, I've been in gyms. I've listened to trainers tell me, work on this, throw that, dip like this, move your feet like that, you know, have your shoulders like this, tuck your chin like that, you know what I mean? And then me watching trainers train pro fighters and seeing what's going on, sparring with pro fighters, getting hit, you know what I mean, getting my nose busted, seeing what doesn't work. So I would think that I should know something, you know what I mean? But if a fighter asked me to work his corner, I would, man. I'm very confident in what I see. I'm very confident. So, and then again, like I told you guys, Malik Scott, I've never reached out to Malik. The first time me and him ever communicated was the other day. He sent me a personal message, and now we're connected now, but he sent me a personal message. I couldn't believe the things that he was telling me in that message, man. So salute to fans, fighters that you know, give me props for listening to my breakdowns and listening to me break down style. And I salute to y'all, man, because I'm just a fan, man. I'm dead honest. I'm just a fucking fan. Jason Eagle says, wonderful breakdown there, Mr. Boxing. Thank you for that. Really good analysis from someone who clearly knows that, man. Jerrell says, definitely possible, man. Okay, he's talking to Games BP. My man, the Eye Fella, greetings from the north side. Class in session was good, bro. All right, you guys, I'm going to take a few more of these, man, and then hopefully the brother that was, because October 4th brought this up, the topic of this video. He had wanted me to break down what I saw in both fights. I tried to convey my message as thoroughly as I possibly can, so hopefully this answers your question. And the guy, October 4th, actually got the that question from another guy that was on the chat, a subscriber. Sorry if I forgot your name, but it's October 4th reminded me about it. So hopefully that guy gets to watch it, and October 4th tunes in to watch it. I appreciate you guys tuning in to listen to it, give me your opinion. AZ says good visualization. I appreciate that. Corleone Mello says should be a youth boxing coach. Hey man, I do hit the mitts with my boys. I even try to, because I got 2 boys and 2 girls. I do the girls. It's like, you know, I want to do this, Dad. Can I just go jump rope or some shit? Like, because I try to preach. I don't try, but I preach staying in shape, getting good exercise in. My oldest son, he likes hitting the mitts. Motherfucker got some heavy hands too, man. But he likes hitting the mitts. His thing is more football. He likes to play basketball. But I get him on the mitts. But yeah, man, I wouldn't mind coaching the youth, teaching them, you know, how to defend themselves, or the, you know, just basic skills. And a lot of my, if you guys heard a lot of Manuel Stewart, and I'm not trying to compare myself to Manuel Stewart, but what I'm saying is a lot of my methods, and just from me and listening to my father and uncles, but I'm a Manny Stewart guy, man. Like I can listen to Manny Stewart talk about boxing, rest in peace, talk about boxing, break down boxing for hours. just his mindset, things he saw, what he thinks the mindset of a fighter should be. I'm a Manny Stewart guy. That's a smart dude, man. Manny Stewart was very smart, man. So I watch a lot of Manny Stewart interviews. Lowland Prophet says you need to start a Patreon and give boxing classes. I actually have a Patreon. I set it up, and then I don't even remember last time I checked on my Patreon. Maybe a year. Yeah, I think I set it up. Maybe it's been 2 years. I don't know. I haven't even used it, man. Let me see here. Jero says, if Fury says he'll be ready then I believe him. I think Wilder wins, but it's going to be a great fight if they both show up at their best. You damn right, man. KP from KC says Wilder is much better than he was in 2015. Okay, when you say that, KP from KC, in that Stavern fight, Wilder, to me, fought a very complete fight. Or he fought a complete fight in that one because he was able to show me some stuff off the back foot that I did not think he had. If you guys has been listening to me, I actually fucking favorite Stavern to win that fight because I didn't see Wilder really show me anything up until then off the back foot. Able to use his jab, throw the right hand. When the right hand couldn't just knock a motherfucker out, he can go on the back foot, use a check left hook. He can go off the back foot, use a check left hook, pivot off his front foot, keep the jab on you, put the right hand back on you, move, get out the way, cover up when he needs to, turn when he needs to. I didn't think he had that. Only thing I was really seeing from Wilder is just he'll either come out like this, like he did against what's the dude's name, Kelvin Price, and Liakovic, where he comes out like this, he'll do this shit, and then he was just throwing fucking bombs. You know what I mean? He was jabbing a little bit, but his thing was to throw big bombs and, you know what I mean, knock you out. I didn't think he had that. So when he showed me that, I was like, holy shit, he can do that too? I was like, damn, man, maybe I was wrong about this dude. Because I actually favored two guys I favored to beat Wilder were Malik Scott, based on skill set, and Stavern, based on I thought he'll be able to apply the pressure that Wilder couldn't or wouldn't know how to deal with. And I was wrong. I was wrong to the motherfucker, man. Then there's fights where, like the Duhaupas fight, where Duhaupas put up the high guard, came forward, and was having some success, even bust up Wilder's eyes. But Wilder showed me he had toughness and heart to have fucked up eyes. Because some dudes, man, they'll get a fucked up eye like that or get their nose busted, broken or something. They'll call it quits. Not necessarily saying, hey, I quit, but just they perform as if like, man, I quit. Like I can't see. You guys feel me, right? I can't see. Wilder still was out there throwing, man. You know what I mean? But Duhaupas, he fought out of his body that night, man. He really came to win that night, but he was getting pieced up too, though. But shouts out to my man KP from KC, though. Appreciate that. But yeah, I do think that Wilder has shown to be a little bit better. He's shown some patience in fights and showing that he can deal with shit, man. Rich77 says, this is why Mr. Box Today 2 is my favorite YouTube boxing channel. It's good to get the visual aspect as well as the talk. Appreciate it. Mike Lowry says, hell yeah, I buy all those lessons. Okay. Ivan Lewis says, Fury and Wilder are the same height. No way they have 2 inches disparity. Skid Plate says, how should a beginner hit the bag? Thank you. To me, if I'm a beginner, if you're hitting the bag, man, the first thing, I'm a guy that believes in ground up. You know what I mean? So what I mean by that is just knowing how to have your footwork in order. So before you even come out hitting the bag, I mean, you can buy a bag and just start hitting the motherfucker. But to me, man, before you hit the bag, just work on little footwork drills. You know what I mean? To where you're not crossing your fucking legs, or like I see people like walk and cross their legs over. I was always taught to glide, where you're taking steps. Your feet are still separated, but you're gliding even when you back, even when you pivot, even when you come back like this, even when you go like that to go to the body and they come over like this, even if you're hopping in the shots, glide back like that, keep your hands like this. And to me, First, start off by throwing straight punches, realistic punches, as I like to say. Start off by throwing realistic punches. You know what I mean? You want to throw the jab, keep your shoulder on your chin like this, keep the glove right here. You know what I mean? Bring it back like this. You're turning your hips into right hands. You know what I mean? You can either generate the power off your back foot, step in with the jab, or you can stand like this, where you're not putting power on the front or on the front or the back. You're just throwing it from the shoulder, as they say, throw from the shoulders like this, and generate the power. You know what I mean? Just work on your straight punches first. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, and then don't get in the rhythm of this. I see a lot of people do this, especially on the heavy bags that swing. They'll throw the 1, 2, the bag will come back, and then they'll like kind of touch the bag. Nah, just bang, bang. If you do get close, throw little filler shots. Bang, 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 bang. Don't ever bang, bang, touch. You know what I mean? Because this shit's not realistic. You know what I mean? Bang, bang, you make a little filler. But start off throwing straight shots, and then add some head movement in there. And then add pivot in there and stepping over to the sides. I call it going out the side door. Just shit like that. So 1, 2, and then add a 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Shit like that, man. Start off basic. Don't get the bag and start going on fucking Manny Pacquiao. You know what I mean? That shit's not realistic. And to me, you get a full body workout when you're actually using proper footwork, working on your balance, working on your leg strength. You know what I mean? You get a to me, you get a full body workout when you work out like that, instead of just staying in stationary and trying to, you know, do this some shit you've seen on Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. Just my opinion, though. Let me see here. Y'all give me a second, man. I'm gonna fucking throat dry as fuck. All right, y'all, a few more, man. I'm gonna hop off. I will do more of these, and it seems if y'all showing up, man, that's good. I'll do more videos like this. I will be doing the little short videos with the picture with my voice over it. You know what I mean? Because people like those videos well. But I'm gonna do more of these right here. I love doing these types of vids, to tell you the truth, more than those. All right, let me catch up with a few comments. Mike Lowry says, but wasn't Fury on the juice in that fight? Man, Fury, I mean, that shit, him and his brother, they had like some issue, or not his brother, I'm sorry, him and his cousin Huey had some type of, was it, forgot what fucking drug it was. Then was it the UKAD? They handled that shit all wrong, man. A lot of question marks in my opinion in that whole thing, but that's just me though. Rashawn Hudson was good, brother. He says, Mr. Boxing, when you ever seen lean in like that? Hold on, Mr. Boxing, when you ever seen lean in like that? I'm not sure what you're saying, Rashawn. When you ever seen lean in like that? Illis92 says, Mr. Boxer today, do you think Wilder shows us something with his body attack versus Fury? I hope so, because in the Stavern fight, in that first Stavern fight, he was kind of doing the Vitali thing, throwing weird ass angled shots to the ribs. You know what I mean? He was bang, bang, and then bang, bang, throwing those. Wilder was kind of looking for the right hand and bang. He was throwing some good body shots. Areola, the same thing. It's like Wilder picks and chooses when he wants to throw the body shots. But I think he should try to attack the body, man, because if he tries to headhunt all night, I'm telling you, man, if he tries to headhunt, but see, Wilder's not as hesitant as Vladimir, in my opinion. Wilder will start to get wild with right hands if he has to get his point across. But Wilder likes to come out patient. He'll paw or probe with the jab. Sometimes he'll get into a match to where him and the other guy are kind of, their jab hands are kind of touching like this, touching like this, touching like this until he tries to find an opening. But if he does this shit and Fury's mixing it up, touching him to the stomach, even not even hurting him, but just touching him, moving, touching him, a la Klitschko, I'm telling you guys, next thing is going to be the fucking 11th round. Like, what the fuck did we just watch? But I think Wilder will start to sell out with right hands. And Wilder will throw that motherfucker. Like, he might throw it to knock you out, but he'll start letting that motherfucker go more. Even if it means that he'll get countered. And one thing about Deontay, man, that motherfucker can hit you off the side of the forehead. He can hit you obviously on the chin. I mean, he can hit you with the cuff of the glove. Like, he can just, that motherfucking right hand is just dynamite, man. But he has to be able to land it. And I think he needs to incorporate that left hook as well, especially off the right hand. Throw the hook. Throw the hook. I think both of these guys should try to throw combinations, man. Watching guys from the 80s like Dokes and Page, Tim Witherspoon, Larry Holmes, all those type of guys, man, they throw in combination more. You know what I mean? Now we got guys, man, they throwing 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2. It's like, fucking A, man. Throw some 4, 5s, and 6s. Holy shit. I don't think overall they do it enough. All right, so I'm not saying every fucking heavyweight, but just overall, I don't think they do it enough, man. I mean, back in the day, even guys like fucking James Broad would throw in fucking combinations, you know what I mean? Mike Weaver and those guys, man. So I want to see these guys throw more combinations. Mike Tyson, obviously throwing combinations. Vander Holyfield's a good combination puncher. I want to see these dudes throwing combos more, man. Instead of just 1, 1, 2, 1, clinch, 1, 1, 2, clinch, 1, 1, 2, 3, clinch. Like, that rhythm just is like, man, wow. That's why Miller is having success. Now we got to see him against other guys, but guys like Miller, Chisora, Dillian White, they'll just go out there and just throw. Joseph Parker, when he lets his hands go, can throw. You know what I mean? Throwing combinations more. Black Fight Fan TV, what's good, my brother? Hey, man, you and 78 got something good going on. I know I said this a million times to you, bro, but y'all got something good going on with that morning live stream y'all do. I checked out the one. I pretty much check you guys out all the time, man. That one this morning was fire. Y'all keep doing y'all thing, man. If y'all have maybe I come on special guest appearance, you know what I'm saying? Leading up to some of the bigger heavyweight fights. You know what I'm saying? Get down with y'all, man, on a few of those. But y'all definitely doing y'all thing. Salute to my man Black Fight Fan TV in the building. Let me see here. All right, I'm gonna throw a few more. D. Ovinuli says Vitali, he favors Vitali over Vlad. Me too. D. Ovinuli says you're the man, Mr. Boxing. I appreciate that, bro. Main Event Boxing Talk says Fury is a god. Okay. AZ says Usyk is the closest to Ali we have. I definitely disagree, brother. Well, you said that you didn't say he was closest to. Put it this way, man. And I've heard people say Tyson Fury, you know, but I really don't think ain't none of these motherfuckers on Ali level, yo. I'm just gonna be blunt with you, man. Yes, his footwork was just something of beauty, man. It was just it's not just getting up and just doing this shit and going in and out and going. It's just the way Ali did. It was just so graceful and beautiful. It was just so graceful and beautiful the way he would move out. He would move around the ring, be able to throw 5s and 6s off the move. 5 and 6s, 5, 6, and 7s off the move. Double right hooks. Double right uppercuts and then triple left hooks. And man, we ain't seen nothing like that, man. Just because you're moving, you can do it. Okay, you can probably show me some Ali-esque movements, but it ain't like Ali, yo. It ain't like Ali. And I'm a fucking Ali historian. Go look at some of them old training clips. I forget which training clip it was for, what training camp it was for. But man, he was moving around the ring, man. He was literally going from corner to corner. It looked like the man was on roller skates, man. I'm not even bullshitting you. It looked like the dude was fighting backwards off roller skates. But I like Usyk. That's not to take nothing away from Alexander Usyk, all right? So I want you, you just hating. No, I like Usyk. I'm one of the first guys on YouTube to make a video about Usyk. Go to my heavyweight prospect playlist. I know it's a heavyweight prospect playlist, but I'm the guy in late 2015 said, hey man, Usyk gonna be a heavyweight. Watch. Go check out the video. It's up. I'm not lying. Go check it. So I like Usyk from years ago before he won a strap. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate Usyk. He went undisputed at cruiserweight. But Ali, yeah, we need to hold that thought, Playboy. We need to hold that thought. As my man Gucci Man would say. Hold that thought. Skid Plates, I appreciate the super chat, man. He said, great lesson. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. All right, you guys, let me read a few more of these, man. Chop it up with y'all, then I'm going to go ahead and jump off. Let me see here. I'm going to start from the bottom because I'm going to end this soon. So let me see. D.O.B. says, Ivan Lewis, you're talking about a past prime Ali. Let me see. Here goes Levi Khan. Are you BJ Flores, man? Here you go again talking about BJ Flores, man. Man, Ivan Khan love him some damn BJ Flores. BJ Flores versus Michael Hunter Jr. First of all, Michael Hunter Sr. was a hell of a fighter. He would give motherfuckers a tough go back in those late 80s, early 90s, all right? Tragic situation happened with his father when you know, but I like his son. His son was a very good amateur at heavyweight, and he fought in some tournaments at super heavyweight. I like Hunter Jr. I thought he gave his all against Usyk. He just came back, and who did he beat at heavyweight? Was it Lago Kiladze? But I like Hunter. I like Hunter Jr. The dude got heart. Let me see here. Ivan Lewis says, if Ali was that good, he wouldn't be taking so much punishment. Just my opinion. Oh, you mean at the tail end of his career in the late 70s going into the 80s? Or he only fought like, was that 80 and 81? I thought he fought Bruno in 81, fought Holmes in 80. If you count that Ali, I mean, I guess. But I'm talking about prime Ali, yo. I'm not talking about that stationary version of Ali, or when Ali would get in there and try to play around and fuck around. There were some fights, man, where I just was not feeling the way that he was trying to fight. And now don't get me wrong, I can criticize the greatest, but there were some fights, man, where I was just like the Norton fights. Tell you the truth, and I'm an Ali person, I'm an Ali guy, man. I think Norton probably won that trilogy, yo. Tell you the truth, just that awkwardness of styles, and Norton always has success against boxer fighter guys, not so much the power punchers. You know what I mean? You know, like when Ali fought like Jimmy Young and those type of fights, man, I just wasn't feeling his fighting style. The Young fight, I think he was trying to get him off his game because Young can feint and jab and move with his ass. You know what I mean? But I'm talking prime Ali. Look, man, when I'm talking movement, I'm talking prime Ali. You know what I mean? Just like how some of you are talking Usyk in his prime. We're not going to, let's say 5-6 years from now, Usyk burns out. Of course, I'm not going to say that version of Usyk. I'm going to talk about Usyk when he was at his best. I'm talking about Ali when he was at his best. That time capsule when he was at his best. That's the Ali I'm talking about. Big Baby versus BJ Flores. Man, y'all trying to see Flores get hurt, man. How the fuck did BJ Flores come up? Shouts out to BJ Flores, man. Illis92 says, another fire live stream. It's been a great day for the boxing fans. Soaked up a lot of good game in this one. Much appreciated, Mr. Boxing. I appreciate you, Illis92. Arsenal Maniac, Mr. Boxing versus Ness, who wins, or against that boxing ego? Donate to me, guy. First of all, let me give a shout out to Ness from the Boxing Voice. It's an excellent job. And let me give a shout out to Ego, or Boxing Ego. They both do a good job. They've been putting in a lot of work over the years on their channels. But when it comes to getting in here with these gloves on and sparring, they don't want none of that. They don't want none of that. Let me see. All right, right, y'all. I know I keep saying I'm gonna take a few more, man, but I like chopping it up with y'all, man. So it's kind of Rich77 says Showtime or Sky Sports 2. Hey man, let them know. Leave them a link. Say, hey man, it's a dude on YouTube that do y'all. Hey, but to tell y'all the truth though, man, look, do y'all know who Chris Mannix is? Leave in the comment section if you do. Press 1 if you know who Chris Mannix is. I was looking at the ESPN because I have the ESPN app, and I was searching for the Alexander Teslenko versus Avery Gibson fight. I found it. Was watching the fight. Chris Mannix was on there. There was another guy doing some that was commentating, and then Bomac, the trainer of Terrence Crawford, was giving the style and the breakdowns. Chris Mannix had no fucking clue what he was talking about, man. He was talking about if Teslenko can't knock this guy out, I don't know about his future being a top heavyweight. And I'm thinking like, dude, Avery Gibson has never been knocked out. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? He's never been knocked out. Yes, his record isn't impressive. Avery Gibson has sparred hundreds of rounds with Deontay Wilder, Washington, Brazil, Charles Martin. He's known all throughout camps because he gives good work. Can he fall into the sparring partner mentality in some of his fights? Yeah, but I really do think the dude goes out there and gives what he got with the talent that he has. He's fought in the world. He actually represented us, the USA, in the World Series of Boxing in one of those seasons of the World Series of Boxing. Avery Gibson isn't just some chump that goes in there and gets knocked the fuck out. He had no clue what he was talking about, man. Just through the whole I had to turn it down. I was like, dude, you couldn't do fucking 5 minutes of research before you go on air. And he was talking like vehemently, like, yeah, and he can't hit. And I'm just sitting there like, he has no idea who these dudes are. No idea. How the fuck can you broadcast a fight? Only thing he knew that was newsworthy is Teslenko just signed with Bellew. That was it. Rather than that, he didn't know nothing about the style. I'm just sitting there like, he has no clue what he's talking about. None. At all. At all. Amazing to me how these dudes get some of these jobs, man. And I don't give a fuck how long he's been writing about boxing or how long he's been on telecast with a microphone. He had no clue those guys were. Do some research, man. I mean, when you're in a hotel room the night before, just go and just watch some highlights. I mean, at least fucking watch a highlight package, man. Like, but just to have no clue. And then they were asking him about the other commentator guy was getting ready to bring up the Pianeta Fury fight, and he just blew that dude off. Like, no, that was a farce of a fight. We're not even going to bring that one up. Just speaking like he's just the word of boxing. And I'm just saying, like, man, what an asshole, man. Like, why? Because you don't watch any Pianeta fight. You couldn't take the time, even if you thought it was a garbage fight. But if you don't know who guys are, just say, yeah, I don't really know who the guy is. We can respect that as fans. Like, okay, you don't know who the guy is. Cool. But to talk as if you know who he is and here's your opinion, I listen to the opinion, I can tell you have no clue what the fuck you're talking about. And if there's anybody that can tell when talking about heavyweights and prospects and journeymen, I can tell within a few seconds of you speaking about the guy that you've never seen him before. And these people are getting put on live TV. It's just crazy, man. Crazy. October 4th, it's already over with, bro. I mentioned you during the live stream. You're going to have to go to the archive of this and check it out, man. But I did the demonstration, man. Okay, yeah, I see you says just joining. Thanks for covering this topic, man. I'll listen back later to see what I missed. I appreciate that, man. Levi Khan with another BJ Flores. All right, let me read a few more, and this time I'm really going to get off. Let me read a few more. Dio Benuli says Lomachenko ain't shit on Roy Jones or Sweet Pea. I gave my opinion about Lomo, and I'm not going to try to drag these guys into the dirt, man. I like Lomo. I like Usyk. I like what the Ukraine has been doing, spitting these guys out. I really do. But like HBO, they'll try to make it seem as if when we watch Lomo, we've never seen this before. And it's like, dude, just like you brought up, huh? Like, motherfucker, I seen prime Roy Jones. I seen prime Ray Leonard. I seen prime Sweet Pea. I seen, I've seen Floyd Mayweather when he was electrifying and had the offense and the defense. You couldn't even graze a glove on him back in his heyday. You're not about to sit up here and make me seem like I've never seen this type of shit before. I like what the young man is doing. I praise what he's doing. He's one of the top fighters, but you're not going to put this out here like we've never seen this. Don't do that, y'all. Please don't do that. HBO, Showtime. Don't do that. Oh, that's Dan Sheehan saying that. Okay. Hey Dan, if that's your opinion, man, that's on you, bro. You said the only boxer that comes close to Ali with footwork is Lomachenko. Other than that, you cannot talk about Ali's later fights because he fought later than he should have. I agree with you. I agree with you that in his Dan, and when I talk about footwork, it's not about just moving around the ring. That's that moving around the ring footwork. But Mike Tyson had crazy footwork coming forward, making you miss, being able to get on the side, come in with hooks and uppercuts. Ezra Charles was another guy that had fantastic footwork. Go watch some old, or not Ezra Charles, I'm sorry. Ezra Charles was a great fighter, but I mean Jersey Joe Walcott. Go watch Walcott. He used to dance in the ring, man. When I say dance, I don't mean hopping. I'm not talking about the Ali type of footwork. I'm talking be able to angle off, good footwork to come inside, to go on the back foot to go outside. Go look at some Archie Moore. Go look at the foot placement of James Toney when he's fighting you in close. Footwork to me isn't just bouncing around the ring. Some people's version of footwork is how well you can dance around the ring. I'm talking about angling off, getting your feet set to be on defense and a return fire on offense. You know what I mean? So footwork to me is more than just dancing around the ring or just coming forward. It's a variation of everything when you're in the ring based on styles. Hope I didn't confuse you, man. All right. Oh, God of War says, by the way, why don't you change your YouTube name to Mr. Box without the two? That's actually a question. I don't know why I done that or why I didn't do that. Just that at the time, because I finally just took my Mr. Boxing Today page and just made it private so you guys can't see it. Just because a lot of people kept going to that page, and I actually seen somebody leave a comment like, "Man, why don't you make no more videos?" I'm like, "Dude, I have Mr. Boxing Today, another page. They've been missing me for like the last year, missing all my videos." And I'm like, "Oh shit, I didn't even." Because this person that was communicating with me, they don't really come on. They don't really watch a lot of boxing stuff. They only follow a few uploaders. And fortunate for me, I was just one of them, and they wasn't seeing me around, so I just kind of made that page private. I'm gonna just keep Mr. Boxing Today too. People usually just call me Mr. Boxing Today anyways, or Mr. Boxing, so it is what it is. All right, y'all. This is only supposed to be like 20, 30 minutes, man. And once again, it's well. One more question. Well, two more, because it's people that I've seen hop on consistently for years. Haplotype says, Mr. Boxing, curious about my question. Does Wilder remind you of a young Vladimir at all? Fury, a young Vitali. Fury, he reminds me of a young Vitali without a good right hand. A right hand that can put you to sleep, hurt you, back you the fuck up. Styles and his movement, especially on that back of Vitali to a degree. The awkwardness of the body punches when Fury does decide to go to the body. Um, Vladimir looking kind of awkward and gangly early in his career. Somewhat like Wilder, but I'm not quite sure. But the Vitali Fury, yeah, I do agree with that one. Without the big right hand though, and the power. Mac G12 says, hey, Mr. Boxing, I could be late on this, but could you explain setting up traps? I actually kind of went through it on this video, bro, when I was talking about, if you go back and watch the archives on this video, when I break down how Vladimir should have set up his right hand by place, just check this video out, man. I didn't say set up traps, but when I'm telling you how he could have set up the right hand or how he could have set up his jab or he could have set up a left hook, that's setting traps. All right, so I covered it in this video. Maybe I should just do a video just talking about that. But hey, y'all, I appreciate y'all showing up once again, man. Until next time, salute. I'll see y'all next time. I'm gone.